Just a quick hit.
Both fault lines, both blast packs, and Jemkin's waiting for them. Yoshi finds the first pick, Jemkin gets the second.
And Jemkin just holds, he hides away from that boom bot. They haven't gained nearly enough map control that they would want. Mojer's creeping up from Dish, but here's the thing, you don't have anyone entering, and here's Crystal once again sneaks into the smoke. He's waiting, oh no! Mojer, a crucial kill. Now they draw away the attention, however. Now Esports, you have a minute. Do you consider rotating over? Because on the other side, Alan's watching it. That's why no one from Scarz has any intention of moving.
I think they're worried about their flank too, Will, and that's probably why they don't want to rotate too far back Aftershock just to try to flush someone out. But look at how comfortable Scarz are.
Yeah, Torneko's watching Jemkin's back. Jemkin just has to wait until the sound comes through for the spike plant. They're suspecting it though, they go for the tags. He's still hiding it, Torneko works off of it. The setup from Scarz is so good. Mojer now down to a 1v3. Oh, he sees the stim pack. They're trying to bait him in. And now Yoshi going for the flank. He has so many angles to clear. Torneko continuing to get information. And the rolling thunder, he can't escape it. He's trapped. And Torneko will finish the best of three. Scarz moves on to the grand final. And unfortunately, now Esports will no longer have that chance to take their place in VCT Pacific as they get eliminated in the semifinals of VCT Ascension Pacific 2023.
Scarz, that left a mark with how dominating that first half was, with that rolling thunder at the end. 0 options out from Naos. They tried, they won the pistol in the second half, Will, but alas, it wasn't meant to be today.
So unfortunate. Now Esports continue. I mean, I think we're going to probably say this about every team that eventually gets eliminated here from VCT Ascension, because they all showed so much promise. I think everyone around the world was impressed after the group stage by all these teams, and now Esports, perhaps one of those teams that really shined the brightest as they took that first seed from Group Alpha. However, as much as they wanted to claim that now was the time, today it was Scarz who will continue on that hope, that chance to take their place, that chance to ascend into VCT Pacific next year. Scarz continues their run. 2-1 victory as they now become our first grand finalists here in the single elimination bracket of VCT Ascension Pacific.
The waves, they carry them through, Will. Scarz, they've managed to come back from such a bad half the first map on Pearl, right? It was 9-3, and then they took it home. Now it's coming back onto its ascent, but onto the final map of Fracture. Scarz kind of had the perfect plans, the perfect ideas, their mechanics so crisp, and just knowing how to rush down the Naos defense. Naos was unable to hold sides no matter what they tried. And even onto the second half, with how sneaky Crystal has been on this map.
Yes.
This is a guy that you always have to keep in mind.
I mean, as great of a fragger as he is, sometimes he says, you know what, there's no shame in playing like a rat, because if it gets you kills, it gets you wins. And that's how he led the team today on Fracture, just like he did yesterday with the operator on that raise. Scarz, they continue on to the finals. Looking forward to playing a best of 5 tomorrow. Their opponent's unknown, of course, it will be decided in the next best of 3. But what a game here. I mean, really showing the potential of the Challenger scene, and of course the best coming up from Challengers to try to enter VCT Pacific.
Yeah, right. I mean, the first 2 maps going all the way. And then the final one, it's such a dominating fashion. It just shows you how much there is left in the tank. I mean, just thinking about the Japanese region as well. Yes, we see how Zeta Division and TFM play, but Scarz brings a whole new style to this region.
Yeah, and it's not just all one-sided either. They're starting to expand a bit, right? Some cheeky little plays, cheeky positions, and all of that. So Scarz, I mean, all credit to him, but ladies...
That Scarz is one step away from reaching that VCT Ascension trophy. And you know what? They had a near flawless win in this Fracture map. And honestly, they had some silky smooth executes going on throughout the entire round. I mean, what do you guys make of it? It was it was a little painful to watch.
It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And I was like, okay, how are they going to bounce back after getting similarly devastated by Bleed? 13-5 reminder on that scoreline. But they just, Crystal just said, okay, I'm just going to go kill everybody again. I mean, the guy went absolutely crazy. Jemkin on the raise as well, looking much better prepared in this series. And Mouse just could not find an entry when they, get over onto that attacking side. It's like, okay, maybe they can make a little bit of run back. They get the pistol. They get a little bit of that ball rolling, and then it just completely falls apart.
Yeah, the one-round win on the defender side. The side that I said was going to be, I think, a little bit more important for now. Generally, it is, just because attacker side is very favored for a lot of teams the way they play. But it was the one round that Komodo just highlighted. That was the only one, and it took a miracle, one-tap headshot, through a stun to get that round win. It was just complete domination from the side of Scarz here. And yeah, Crystal was playing out of his mind, but so much of what Scarz was doing here today was they were just clicking. I mean, you could see like the util dumps were great. Whenever they caught somebody out of position, like I think about that one time they caught Wits right outside of A main, and it's just like flash, nano, or not nano, but flash, stun, aftershock, just to, and then the haunt as well to keep a spot on him. They just completely isolate and eliminate him, get themselves the sights. Things like that they were doing that were really good. And Crystal, yes, his score line is very good, but his utility was super impactful.
I mean, I was looking at those scores, and the question that I have to ask is, where's Ja? Where is he? Because he's so absent, unfortunately. 5-15 is just a brutal scoreline when you're coming out here as the lone duelist. It's just every twist and turn. Not being able to find success, not being set up for success. Unfortunately, just complete and utter disjointedness here for the side of Mouse. It's a brutal way to go out, but a very good way to move forward if you're Scarz.
Of course, Crystal here showing up one more time, this time as Fade as our MVP.
I mean, that KD8 is just bonkers. I mean, 3.9. He is absolutely the MVP here and has been arguably the MVP for Scarz so far here in the playoffs. I don't think I would pick anybody else right now. What do you do against that? I mean, part of it also, when I went back and kind of watched it and looked through some of the highlights and stuff, I was like, well, he was getting a lot of opportunities to get some of these multi-frags where it would be one peek, he'd get the kill, and then as soon as he's done getting that first one, another member of Nous has peeked, and he's so good that he can transfer over. You can't give Scarz opportunities like that. Their individual mechanics are too strong. You have to be smothering them with utility, double peeking them at the same time, things like that I just wasn't seeing from Nous on their defender side.
Yeah.
I think you said it perfectly earlier, Paper Thin, about Scarz and how they just came together really well. Their executes and that util dump, it was just so perfectly timed. They were on point, and they're going to go into tomorrow looking really strong. If they can do this one more time, this is good. I mean, how do you think they're going to fare, whether it's Boom or Bleed?
I favor Bleed a little bit, I guess. That's I think my pick. I'm leaning that way right now, depending on, of course, what happens next. But look, Scarz could beat anybody at this tournament. It just depends on the day in some ways. I mean, if Jemkin can keep playing at a high level as well, like he did on the first couple of maps, should be good to go.
Yeah, we need to have him maintain that form, both on the jet and on the race here, carry that forward. Crystal, I don't have any concerns about him whatsoever.
Nope.
But even, Alan on that first map having a little bit of roughness, looked a lot more alive and involved when it got down to Ascent. So I think that if everybody does show up, I agree. I think that they absolutely can take down anybody else in this tournament. And if they look like this going into that final, regardless of if it's Boom or Bleed, I might have to give them the edge out here.
Yeah. Well, let's hear from the players themselves. Ishara, please take it away with the interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with our first game after such a roller coaster of a match. We are here now with our victor. Of course, it couldn't be anybody but Yoshi from Scarz. I want to ask you, the game was such a roller coaster for both of the teams. In the first match, you guys had a great comeback. In the second match, your opponent also had a great comeback. And of course, I really wanted to know how you guys were able to maintain the team's performance and such a positive mindset through all three games, and which resulted in a very smooth game number 3.
So we just did is like we talking about our mistakes and just forget about the last 2 games and just focus on the last game and just like that.
That match was really, really meaningful for all of you guys, and for the Scarz fan. So yeah, love to know how you feel about being the first team that actually secured their place in the grand finals of Ascensions 2023, and of course, what this meant to you.
For me, I'm so happy right now because it's my first time like this, like international league, and I think we still need to focus for our match and grand final and just play our game and do our best and have fun.
Thank you for your time, Yoshi, and good luck for the grand finals.